Well, hello there, welcome to Philbert Flies, and today we are going to be flying the A320 Neo with the A32NX mod and FS2 Cruise Flight Crew A320 from Cairo to Dubai. It's a flight of about 3 hours 20 minutes scheduled, although should be closer to 3 hours in reality. Let's get started. So here we are, parked at a remote stand. That's stand 311 at Cairo Airport. The aircraft is connected to external power, and I've turned on all of the displays and that before we start. But we'll get on board. We will align the ADIRs, start setting up the FMCG, or the MCDU I should say, and crack on. So, turn the ADIRs to nav. We'll turn the fuel pumps on, and we'll start the pre-flight actions in Flight Crew A320.
Let's start setting up, shall we?
Okay.
So one thing that I don't know is whether Flight Crew A320 can operate the stairs in the same way as it operates the jetway. Let's have a quick look. Doesn't look like any of those stairs are moving. No. Okay, so we will request it via ATC. That's not a problem. Ramp connection.
Ground EgyptAir 912, could you please send a ramp?
EgyptAir 912, a ramp is on its way.
I'm a little bit worried because Flight Crew A320 has opened the door that it might end up closing when the ramp connects, but we shall see. Not the end of the world if it does. A bigger problem, of course, would be if the door reopened after the ramp disconnects. All looks good. Let's have a sneaky peek inside with the drone cam if we can. Very nice. I happen to know if we go through the curtain we will see nothing modelled, but it's nice that they've got the exit area and the galleys modelled. Oh, that's it for the stairs, is it? We're done with boarding already. Oh. It was nice while it lasted. Right, let's get back in. And we will tune the ATIS, find out what the latest weather is doing and what runways we can expect.
Cairo Airport information, Sierra 1000 Zulu. Line 222 at 5. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 900 feet, few clouds at 3,900 feet, few clouds at 11,600 feet. Temperature, 20. Dew point, 10. Altimeter 29.92. ILS runway 5 center, ILS runway 5 right and ILS runway 5 left in use. Landing and departing runway 5 center, runway 5 right and
Okay, good. So slightly cooler day in Cairo than it was yesterday when we arrived. Yesterday I think it was 35 degrees and today it's only 20. But we were expecting a departure from one of the runway 5s, so that's good. Let's get our clearance.
Ground EgyptAir 912 ready to copy IFR clearance to Dubai.
EgyptAir 912 is cleared to Delta Uniform Bravo Alpha India November Tango Lima Airport is filed. Takeoff runway 5 center, climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.35 squawk 5566.
EgyptAir 912 cleared to Delta Uniform Bravo Alpha India November Tango Lima Airport is filed. Takeoff runway 5 center, climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure on 119.35 squawk 5566.
EgyptAir 912, read back correct. Contact ground on 120.1.
So as you can see, my co-pilot has helpfully programmed the transponder for us and turned it on. And we're expecting a runway 5C takeoff. Now before we start getting set up with the MCDU, I'm going to start the APU so that we can have some air conditioning for our passengers. Of course what we should have done, and I keep forgetting that this is now a feature, is we should have waited for the flap open indication to appear here, having turned the APU on but before selecting start. All these new features are fantastic. It just takes me a little bit of time to remember that they exist. Flaps open, our start button is pushed. We should start seeing the N% and the EGT come up, and that is starting nicely. Right, so if we come down here and we go to our init ref page, you'll see that the flight plan planned in SimBrief has already been loaded in. If you're interested in learning how to use SimBrief to plan your flights, you'll find details on my YouTube channel. I made a short video about that a week or two ago. We'll use 20 for our cost index. And our init B page, we only need to fill in the zero fuel weight centre of gravity, or the MAC, which I made a note of somewhere from the weight and balance screen of the flight planner, and it is 25.86, so we'll call it 25.9. So you should just be able to push slash and fill that in, but on this aircraft you have to fill in the zero fuel weight again as well. 25.9. And if we go to our flight plan page, HECA is Cairo Airport. We will click on that and verify our departure. Hasn't been set, so we're taking off from runway 5 Charlie. And I didn't plan a standard instrument departure because SimBrief didn't suggest one. Interestingly, looking at the Navigraph charts, all of the SIDs at this airport seem to be pretty much straight takeoffs from the runway, followed by radar vectors to your first waypoint. So that's no biggie. Yes, Cairo 1 Alpha, 1 Bravo, 1 Charlie, 1 Delta and 1 Echo are all from the, well, basically they're direct takeoffs from each runway, followed by a turn to the right or a turn to the left, depending on which runway you are using. As we are using 5 Charlie, 5 Centre, it's a straight out departure at 045 degrees anyway. So we won't bother with one, seeing as I didn't plan one. We will take off and await radar vectors to Menley. Just remove my cat from the keyboard, things will go more smoothly. Right, where were we? So we've done our init A and B. Our perf page, we're going to use a flex takeoff temperature of 59, and we're going to accelerate at 1500 feet, same as our thrust reduction altitude. Flaps 1 takeoff, 1 plus F.
EgyptAir 2671 cleared.
This page doesn't work. And I believe that's us pretty much set up.
Departure on 119.35 squawk 0553.
So you'll notice our ADs have aligned, which is why we've got our navigation display up and running. We'll turn on our flight directors. We've got our cleared altitude set. And I think we can start the before start checklist.
Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
The signs we haven't done. Seatbelts should be on. No smoking should be auto. Oh, it's a bit tricky to click. There we are.
On and auto.
ADAs.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
Set.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Baro ref.
1013 set.
1013 set. Down to the line.
So you can set in the Flight Crew A320 settings whether you want hectopascals or inches of mercury for your baro reference. And of course, the Flight Simulator ATC always uses inches of mercury. And yeah, so fortunately you can convert between them very easily just by clicking here. 1013 is 29.92. So that's our before start checklist down to the line completed. We will continue below the line as soon as the doors are closed and we are ready to start our pushback. And we've got 22 minutes remaining on the pre-flight events, so I will fast forward that a little bit because we're pretty much ready to go.
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes, you can start boarding.
Okay.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Thanks.
No problem, have a safe flight.
So we've got our load sheet with 10 minutes to go on flight crew A320. Give you a quick spin around outside, seeing as we've got a little bit of time to kill. But before I do
Ladies
that,
and gentlemen,
now the APU
welcome
has
aboard our
started,
flight today.
we will turn on the
As you
APU
locate
bleed.
your assigned seats, please place your smaller
And
items
we can
under
turn
the
off
seat in
external
front of
power.
you to provide more room for larger items in our overhead compartments. If you need assistance, contact the flight attendant. If you are unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you. Also review the safety instruction in your seat pocket. If you are seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
So as you can see, a glorious sunny day in Cairo. The ATIS did tell us about clouds. I don't see any, so I don't know what that was all about. If you're interested in seeing more of Cairo, then do check out my previous video, which was an Austrian Airlines flight from Vienna into Cairo, followed by a little tour of the city in the Cessna 172. Cairo here is one of the Asobo hand-built, handcrafted airports, and we had a quick look around it yesterday, but I'll show you a little bit more before we set off while we're waiting for the boarding to complete. What do I want to do? Speed up. Oh, wrong one. Want to speed up the drone a little bit.
Hold position EgyptAir 2671.
So this, you may remember, is where we parked yesterday. I think we parked at this gate after our 3-hour flight from Vienna. Beautiful landing, if I do say so myself. And we won't talk about what happened in the Cessna after that, I don't think. So yes, it has the airport has a number of terminals, 3 I think. So this here is Terminal 3, and we are parked at a remote stand which is part of Terminal 3, just over here. The next one is Terminal 2, here. And Terminal 1 is right over the other side of the airport, and it, to me, appears to be an old terminal, as I suppose you would expect, having been called Terminal 1 now. But it doesn't have any jetways or anything like that, just remote parking. Let's go and have a little look at it. This appears to be some kind of mass transit system between the terminals. It would be really nice if we had AI trains in the sim, in the same way we have AI road vehicles. So yes, this is all Terminal 1 over here. So obviously not up to your average payware add-on quality, but still a pretty nice airport, I think. So we've got a very short taxi to runway 5 centre, if I'm reading my airport charts correctly. So yes, I am. So it's this runway here, coming in the opposite direction to that which we're facing. Forgotten where we're parked now. Ah, it's over here, isn't it? Yes. Right, let's get back on board. I will fast forward the flight crew A320
Hey
a
guys,
little more.
all packs are on board. Are we clear to close?
Yep.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you. May well ask you for a drink or something later. So, yeah, FS2 crew has closed the door. And we will turn on our beacon to show that we're about to start the engines. Let me just have a quick scan, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I think I have. So let's get going. We'll push back. Shift P to start the pushback. And we'll do the before start checklist below the line.
Below the line.
Windows and doors.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Are you sure about that?
No.
Parking brake.
They are now, they weren't.
On.
Before start checklist complete.
Excellent. And we're going to ask the tug to push us back to the right, and then we'll start the engines. The latest version of Flight Crew A320 has the option to allow you to start engine 1 first, which I believe is prototypical for the A320 Neo, unlike the CO. So I'll check that box now. But as usual, I think we'll let the pushback complete first, so we have a better chance of lining up with the taxiway line.
Roger, EgyptAir 2671.
So if we ask them to start our
Ground
turnabout
EgyptAir
now.
912 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
EgyptAir 912, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Bring on GSX, that's all I can say. For those of you who don't know, GSX is a program developed by FS Dream Team for Flight Simulator X and P3D, which had brilliant pushback functionality. You didn't have to talk to them via the radio like we are here. Amongst other things, so it had ground service vehicles and I've forgotten what you call them, sort of automatic docking systems. Still not a bad pushback, we are roughly on the centre line. So we'll start our engines. Engine mode selector to normal. We'll announce starting engine 1.
Starting engine 1.
And we'll announce
Starting engine 2.
And we'll monitor those up here. You can see the N2 is increasing.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today. This is your purser speaking. Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for important safety information. There is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates the safety equipment on board this aircraft. Regulations require compliance with this information as well as all crew instructions, the lighted information signs and posted placards. Fasten your seat belts by inserting the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt. To release your seat belt, lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your seat belt fastened at all times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs and instructions for door operation. Each door is equipped with an escape slide. Locate the nearest exit to you and note that the nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, lights will illuminate the aisle. The cabin is pressurized. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, a
Okay,
panel
so our
will open
engines
and
have started,
oxygen
they appear to be
mask
stable.
will appear.
So
Remain
turn our
seated
engine mode
with your
selector
seatbelt
back to
fastened
normal.
and pull a mask towards you to start the flow
Turn
of
off the APU
oxygen.
bleed. Turn off
Oxygen
the
will be
APU.
flowing to the mask even
and
though
turn
the
the
bag
taxi
may
light
not
on.
inflate. Cover your nose and
And
mouth
we'll
with
run
a
our
mask.
after start
Place the
checklist.
elastic band around your head and
After
tighten by
start
pulling on the
checklist.
ends. Secure your own mask before
Anti-ice.
assisting others. Your life jacket is located
Set.
under the
Ecam status.
tighten strap
Checked.
and once
Pitch
outside
trim.
the aircraft.
Haven't
Pull
set
on the
pitch
tab
trim.
to inflate
We're
your
about 25% nose up.
If the jacket fails to
I'll
inflate,
just quickly
use the
convert
fuel
that
case
to
mechanism.
a figure I can actually
Your
read on
jacket
this
is equipped with a
aircraft.
light that will automatically illuminate in water.
Bear with me.
This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or in the lavatory. Cabin lights will now be turned off. Leaving light buttons are located over your head. Thank you very much for your attention.
So 25% is about 0. About 3/4 nose up. About 0.75, something like that.
Ground EgyptAir 24 requesting pushback. EgyptAir 24 pushback request accepted.
So roughly there.
25% set.
Rudder trim.
0.
After start checklist complete.
And before I go any further, I'm going to put the V-speeds into the FS2 crew config page, because this Asobo A320 changes them once you've set your flaps rather than calculating them in advance like the real thing would. 143148150. Excellent. We'll do our flight control check now.
Flight control check.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Still having trouble with my joystick. If I twist the axis all the way to the right, it suddenly goes full left. Don't know what that's about. And I can't get a replacement. I just can't get a thrustmaster joystick at the moment. Probably because of this flight simulator. Okay, so we've got our taxi light on, and we'll just get our taxi clearance from ATC.
EgyptAir 24 taxi
Once
to
everyone
hold
else
short of
stops
runway 5 left via taxiway Juliet 1 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 125.875 when ready.
Ground EgyptAir 912 with Tango ready to taxi IFR.
EgyptAir 912 taxi to and hold short of runway 5 center via taxiway Sierra Tango. Contact tower on 125.875 when ready. Taxiing hold short runway 5 left via taxiway Juliet 1 Alpha 1 EgyptAir 24.
Right, so we've got our taxi clearance. Let's get going.
Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Go back to our engine page, ready for takeoff. Have I still got the parking brake on? Yes. No. No, that's off, isn't it? Here we go.
EgyptAir 912, did you hear my last transmission?
And I'll hand over the radio comms to the co-pilot.
Taxi to and hold short runway 5 center using taxiway Sierra Tango EgyptAir 912. Ground EgyptAir
And
40
we'll run our
ready to
before
copy
takeoff
IFR
checklist.
Before
clearance
takeoff
to Hurghada.
checklist.
Flight controls.
EgyptAir 40 is cleared to Hurghada.
Checked.
Airport is
Checked.
filed.
Flight
Takeoff
instruments.
runway 5 left, climb and
Checked.
maintain
Checked.
7,000 feet.
Briefing.
Departure frequency is
Confirmed.
11
Flap
decimal
setting.
975 squawk
Config 1
1727.
plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V1 143 VR 148 V2 150
V1, 143 VR, 148 V2, 150 ATC.
EgyptAir 40 read back
Set.
correct.
Ecam memo.
Contact ground on 120
Take off no
decimal 1 when
blue.
ready.
Down to the line.
So now we've done that before takeoff checklist down to the line. We will continue it below the line once we're given clearance to take off or line
Ground EgyptAir 40 requesting pushback.
EgyptAir 40 pushback request accepted.
Still struggling to get the power right on this default A320. I'm hopeful they'll sort that out in a future update of the mod. Because really we should be able to taxi on idle thrust. So I'm not really sure if this default ATC is going to vector us to our first waypoint, or if they just expect us to fly there directly after takeoff. I think we'll make
Ground
a right turn
EgyptAir
and head straight
40
there.
requesting the end of pushback.
Don't think
EgyptAir
they
40
gave us a
request to end pushback received.
clearance, did they? Cleared to Dubai, takeoff runway 5C, climb, maintain 5,000 feet. No, nothing about
Ground
following a heading
EgyptAir
or anything
40
like
with
that.
Tango ready to taxi IFR.
So we'll do as we
EgyptAir
please.
40 taxi to involve
If they
short
don't
runway
like it, I'm
5
sure
left
they'll
using taxiway Juliet
speak
Juliet
up.
1 Alpha Alpha 1. Contact tower on 125.875 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 5 left using taxiway Juliet Juliet 1 Alpha Alpha 1 EgyptAir 40.
Bit of strange scenery popping going on here, just coming in and out. Never experienced that before in this sim, I don't think. Okay, so this is runway 5 centre ahead of us. Doesn't seem to be a hold short point marked. So we'll
Ground
just hold
EgyptAir
short
84
here.
IFR to S1 ready to copy. EgyptAir 84 is cleared to S1 airport is filed. Takeoff runway 5 center climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.975 squawk 30.
Cairo Tower EgyptAir 912 ready for IFR departure runway 5 center.
EgyptAir 912 cleared for takeoff runway 5 center.
Okay, so we're cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway 5 center
Nice light to
EgyptAir
takeoff.
912.
Runway turn off, landing lights on and strobe on. And we'll run the before takeoff checklist below the line.
Below the line.
Cabin crew, be seated for takeoff. Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Packs.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Here we go. Everyone excited? I'm excited. I've never been to Dubai. I've never taken off from Cairo. So it's a whole new part of the world to me. We'll do a rolling takeoff.
Ready?
Ready.
Takeoff.
So thrust levers up to about 50%. Round about the H in the word thr. And they're stable, so up to flex.
Manflex SRS runway auto thrust blue.
Check. Thrust set.
Keep the stick half forward until 100 knots. And then as we release it, the nose will come up, which isn't realistic, but...
100
what can you
knots.
do?
Check.
hasn't actually. That's good. Oh, now it's starting to come up on its own.
V1. Rotate.
And some gentle back pressure on the stick. And away we go.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
And we'll start our turn to the right.
EgyptAir 912, contact Cairo Center on 119.35.
119.35 EgyptAir 912. Cairo Center EgyptAir 912 is at 1,700 feet, climbing 5,000 feet.
Leave it to the
EgyptAir
thrust
912,
climb and we'll
Cairo
lower the
Center
nose to
continue to
accelerate.
Millie as planned. Altimeter 29.92.
Because our thrust reduction altitude and our acceleration altitude are
EgyptAir
both
912 traffic is 1 o'clock, 2 miles at 800 feet
autopilot.
generic.
AP1.
Check.
EgyptAir 912 traffic in sight.
We are coming up to our flat retraction speed, which is here, which is also within the overspeed area, so that's a bit of a bug. But we'll retract the flaps now.
Flap 0.
Cairo Center
Speed
EgyptAir
checked.
2671 is climbing through 800 feet for 9,000 feet.
Flaps 0.
EgyptAir 2671 Cairo Center continue as planned.
And we'll run our after takeoff.
After takeoff, climb checklist.
Landing gear.
Up.
Flaps.
EgyptAir 2671 traffic is 5 o'clock.
Retracted.
1 mile,
Packs.
4,400
Down
feet,
to the
Airbus
line.
A320N. Report them inside.
And we will continue that below the line once we pass our transition altitude.
9 o'clock, less than 1 mile, 900 feet generic. Report them inside. EgyptAir 2671 traffic alert. 3 o'clock, less than 1 mile, 4,700 feet, Airbus
Okay, I'm sure it's gone,
A320N.
whatever it was.
Report them inside. EgyptAir 912 climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
EgyptAir 912 traffic in sight.
13,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet EgyptAir
Interesting, it
912.
went straight through the 5,000 feet that we had set before. I don't know why I did that. It's a new one to me.
EgyptAir 2671 have the Airbus A320N in sight.
My cat is desperate to get on the keyboard. I don't know why. So if everything suddenly goes wrong, you'll know why. Nice. Settling on my lap now. Right, so we're passing 10,000. Landing lights coming off. Because it's nice and smooth, we can turn the seatbelts sign off as well. And the runway turn off lights off. So you'll notice as we passed 10,000 the nose was lowered to allow us to accelerate beyond the 250 knot below 10,000 feet speed limit. Increase our ND range so that we have a better idea of where we're going. First time I've flown over the Sahara. Pretty spectacular, isn't it, so far? thrust is reducing because we have reached our 13,000 feet cleared altitude.
EgyptAir 912, climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain flight level 250 EgyptAir 912.
So I had a little go in the Boeing 787 yesterday, because I loved that plane in P3D. I loved the Quality Wings version. But unfortunately, it's the frame rate just went. I had like 10 to 15 FPS, and that was at Honolulu, which isn't even a handcrafted airport. So it's not really ready yet for me to stream, and that's aside from all the autopilot issues. I'm hoping, in fact I think they've said that they will be porting their P3D model across to Microsoft Flight Simulator, Quality Wings that is, and yeah, bring it on as far as I'm concerned, along with all the other planes that I used to fly. So when we get to 18,000 feet, which is what the ATC thinks the transition altitude is everywhere, we will change to standard baro pressure. Then we'll complete the after takeoff climb checklist and continue on up to our cruising altitude of, I can't remember, I think 35,000. Let me just consult my flight plan. Yes, that's flight level 350. So there's 18,000.
Set standard.
Standard, cross-checked. Passing flight level 191. Now.
Check.
And finish the checklist.
Below the line.
Baro ref.
Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff checklist complete.
That's all we need from our co-pilot until we're ready to set up for the descent and approach into Dubai. Just slow the old drone down. Get some smoother shots for you. We're just passing over the El Wadi Resort, which is down here. And I'm checking this on Google Maps before I make a fool out of myself, but I think this is the Dead Sea. You can, of course, follow the flight plan along. No, it's not the Dead Sea. This is the Gulf of Suez. Ah, you should be able to see the Suez Canal. Other side. My geography is shocking. I apologise. Particularly this part of the world. Yeah, this is the Gulf of Suez, which leads into the Red Sea, and then the Gulf of Aden over to our other side.
EgyptAir 912, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 EgyptAir 912.
Up to our cruising altitude. So our flight today is going to take us more or less due east over Egypt. We're going to just clip the bottom part of Israel with the Gulf of Aqaba on our right. And then we're going to enter Jordan, fly over almost the entire width of Saudi Arabia before coasting out over the Persian Gulf and making a slight right-hand turn towards the UAE and Dubai. If you've got any questions, do shout up in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them. And similarly, if you have any comments or requests for future flights, I'd be interested to hear them either in the live chat or in the comments if you're watching this afterwards. For now though, I'm going to play you some music and let you enjoy the views.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we'll begin our meal service for the flight. Please refer to the menu given to you on boarding for the 2 meal choices and for the beverage choices available. We request that you keep the aisles clear to assist the flight attendants to serve you efficiently and also for your own safety. Thank you.
So there are going to be a lot of uninterrupted desert views on this flight. There aren't too many landmarks to point out on the way. There is a city or a town over our left wing. I believe it's here, called Nekel. Apologies for the pronunciation if we do have anyone Egyptian listening. As I said on my last flight, what I would love is to have a country expert from every country we fly over tune into my streams and give us a few local facts. That would be interesting. So that's us levelling off at our cruising altitude of flight level 350. So you can actually see 3 countries out of the cockpit window at the moment. We are flying over Egypt, and this body of water here is the Gulf of Aqaba, or Aqaba, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And just on this side, you've got the very southern tip of Israel. which heads off in this direction over to the north. And beyond it, beyond the other side of the Gulf, is Jordan. For those of you who have just joined us, we are en route from Cairo to Dubai. We are currently about to pass over the Gulf of Aqaba, or something similar to that. So we are going to be crossing the southern tip of Israel, which is just about here, and then entering into Jordan. Once we enter Jordan, we will be just to the south of a city called, or a town called Let me read it before I try and pronounce it. I'm going to say Rashidiyah. Something along those lines. And in the distance we may be able to see a town called Munaishia.
EgyptAir 912, contact Tel Aviv Center on 121.4.
121.4 for EgyptAir 912. Tel Aviv Center, EgyptAir 912, flight level tree
So we've got the
50.
Israeli town of Eilat here, and the Jordanian town of Tel Al Khalifa over here.
EgyptAir 912, contact Amman Center on 128.5.
128.5 for EgyptAir 912. Amman Center, EgyptAir 912, flight level tree 50.
And interestingly, we got handed off to Tel Aviv Centre very briefly, and now we've been handed off to Amman Centre, which I'm sure wouldn't happen. I think this is the town of Aqaba actually. I'm not sure what Tel Al Khalifa is. I'm going to Google it. Yes, my map for some reason didn't display the big Aqaba letters on Aqaba. I'll stick to the flying and stop with the geography, I think, for a bit. I do find it interesting to look at where we're flying over. But I don't want to be lying to you about places. Right, I'm going to nip away from the computer for a bit now. I'll obviously be back well in time to set up for our descent, and I'll be monitoring the chat. So if you have any questions or comments, do shout up and I will come back and talk to you. But other than that, enjoy the views, and I will see you in time for the descent. Hello, Mossy. How are you? Sorry for the slow reply. I had my mic muted and I hadn't realised. I'm afraid the YouTube chat isn't showing up in stream again. I don't know why, but I can see your messages. Interesting texture issue down here.
EgyptAir 912, contact Jeddah Center on 128.1.
128.1 EgyptAir 912. Jeddah Center EgyptAir 912 flight level
So we're currently
350.
flying over the northern part of
EgyptAir
Saudi Arabia.
912 Jeddah Center, continue to Jeddah as planned.
The flight is 3 hours, Mossy, in total, and we are, I'd say, just over a third of the way through, something like that. It's very deserty, as you can see. some of the satellite imagery around here is not as good as what we've grown accustomed to, I must say. Just lines here in the sound. Just lines. Which I assume is just images taken at different times. Or maybe I was going to say maybe there was a cloud, but it's a very straight edge. Oh, you bought Orbex London City. What do you think? Good, I'm pleased. I'm pleased you don't regret it. I think it's a great add-on. So where have you flown to from it so far? Really odd because it looks fine and then something happens, something loads in, which makes it look rubbish. If it's the same from inside. Something to do with the level of detail of the different images that we used on big maps, I guess. That's the low resolution, higher altitude images are fine. And the higher resolution ones, something's gone wrong. Oh, you went to Paderborn. What's it like? I haven't tried that. That's an Aerosoft add-on, right? Oh yeah, I've just googled it. It's their free offering, isn't it? Looks pretty good actually from the screenshots. Did you fly in the, what's it called? The Citation, one of the Citation jets? I think I will try it. It's a freebie. What's not to like? The autopilot was awful, yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Although I was looking on the official forums, I posted something on there about not being able to get the DME to work, as you may remember from our arrival in Saint-Tropez. And there is a fix in the works for it. There's someone who is... Well, first there's someone who sorted out the fuel consumption issue, so you can download a new config file for it, which fixes its range problems. But there's also someone who's doing a proper Zebo mod style rework of it, and he posted a video of the FMC and the new pages he's adding to that. So yeah, the autopilots may be pretty awful at the moment, but I think the future's bright. People are putting a lot of time and effort into improving these planes. Just trying to speak to Restream support while we're while we're flying about the fact that the YouTube chat keeps dropping out. They did release a fix for it a few days ago, and yesterday's stream it stayed connected all the way through and popped up on the stream as you'd expect, but today it's gone again. And they've said they're checking what else could be wrong. So hopefully this won't be a long-lived issue. Yeah, me neither. I can't wait for the fix. I do enjoy the CJ4, in spite of its shortcomings, but yeah, it'd be better if it worked properly. Ah, we're reconnected. You are, yeah, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Remind me what your question was again. Noticed my game isn't filling the screen. Very amateurish of me. Oh, about the FS2 crew, yeah, no problem at all. So what sort of flying have you been doing in general, Ross? Is it mostly business jet stuff, or have you been doing a bit of other stuff as well? Ugh, these textures are horrible. Let's stick to the cockpit where we don't have to look at them. Specifically, we'll look forward. Right, cool. And have you got the, what do they call it, the A320NX mod for it yet? wasn't aware of the new engine sound. I'll have to look that up. And how was Sofia? Was it a decent replica of the airport? Because I'm always I'm a bit set in my ways. I'm so used to having loads of add-on sceneries for earlier sims that I'm reluctant to fly to default airports. But I know a lot of them aren't too bad in FS 2020. I could well be missing out on decent flights that, for the sake of not having detailed add-ons. I was saying earlier on the stream, I don't think you were here, that I was having a little play with the 787 last night, which is more or less unflyable for me because I take such a frame rate here. But I was looking at Honolulu Airport. I was considering doing a long haul flight from there to Tokyo Haneda, but it didn't work properly, so I gave up. But what was my point? Oh yes, my point was that Honolulu is not a handcrafted airport. It looks really good, and it looks very similar to the real deal. So yeah, perhaps Sophia's the same, and I'll check it out. So I think my next stream after this one will be the next VFR flight, part of my Bimbles Around Britain series, in which I plan on taking off from Shoreham, where we left off last time, and flying to Portsmouth and Southampton, which are the only two UK cities with photogrammetry. Have a look at those, and then go and land on the Isle of Wight. That is my plan. But in terms of airliner stuff, I think I'll probably go and do a few more European flights, because this is cool, flying over the desert. And I have to say, earlier the scenery was stunning before we got this blurry whatnot cropping up. These rather strange colours. I don't know if do you get blue and red sand? I don't think you do. But yeah, I prefer flying over countries that I sort of vaguely know, and where I can spot towns and things like that, and where the scenery is a bit sharper. Cool. Did you see my first one? I can't remember if you were there. I know you've been on a few streams now, but I did North Wheel to Shoreham for the first VFR flight. Oh right, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting this YouTube streaming because most of my views are not live. Most of my views come after the stream. But it is nice when people take the time to watch it live with you. Makes these longer hauls that much more interesting when you got someone to talk to. I'm going to have to look this up on Google Earth satellite view. See if it's blue and red there as well. Where are we? Just approaching Vutad. I see no evidence at all of blue and red sand in Saudi Arabia anywhere. Looking up Paderborn on Flight Radar 24, there aren't many routes from it. In fact, there are only 4 destinations within the next 7 days. Munich, Heraklion, Greece, Izmir, Turkey, and Antalya. I might try a flight to one of those, that could be fun. I don't know if that's usual or if it's because of the COVID restrictions. But as you discovered, that's the beauty of the business jet, isn't it? You can fly wherever you want and still convince yourself it's pretty realistic. course, cannot find in the flight plan. Must be there. Oh yes, here we are, VTAD. We're expected to have 6.7 tons on board at VTAD, 6.4 tons at low torque. So we're about right. Fuel burn seems about right. It's good. Good, I'm pleased. I signed up to a free trial of Epidemic Sound, which is a royalty-free music library. You get 30 days for free to try it out. And yeah, it's got some good stuff on it. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to plug for the 10 or 12 pounds a month. It's quite a lot of money to spend when you're not making any money at all. But yeah, well, so enjoy it while it lasts. I guess it's what I'm saying. This particular track is by someone called Hampus Naselius. It's called Adapted by Dark. Yeah, I like sort of relaxing yet slightly dramatic classical stuff for flying too. It's fitting, isn't it? Especially with this scene. I must get used to waiting till people's messages pop up in the stream before I answer, otherwise it doesn't make sense. I've got a YouTube chat window on one side of my desktop and the in-stream chat on the other side. I keep looking at both of them. Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say so. I don't know how to get more views, to be honest. Yeah, any tips gratefully received. I've got no clue really when it comes to streaming. I get hardly anyone at all watching on Twitch, and I'm getting more on YouTube. You know, some of my videos, I get maybe 7 or 8 people watching me live at the same time, and then 60, 70 people watching it afterwards. But then that first ever video I did from Schiphol to Heathrow has got over 2,500 views now. And I don't know what the difference is. Because I would say that one was pretty amateurish, and the later ones are better. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because I'd be flying anyway. And if people want to join me, then so much the better. But it's not the end of the world if if it doesn't grow more than it has already. I'm up to 100 subscribers though, which is quite exciting. That means I can get my own YouTube URL, which I assume will be youtube.com/philbertflies or maybe /philbertflies MSFS for the search engines, you know. Something I'll have to look up probably. I'd prefer Filbert Flies, but if I'm going to get tens of thousands of new viewers for putting MSFS or FS 2020 at the end of it, then so much the better. Quite near to the border with Iraq at the moment where we are. It's just over, I mean, you won't see anything with this, but it's just over to our left. And as we approach the coast, we'll be flying equally close to Kuwait. Oh, thank you. I hope you're right. I won't give up. I'll keep doing this a couple of times a week in between work and other commitments. And yeah, keep my fingers crossed. You know, at the end of the day, when I started this channel, I didn't know if anyone would come, and the fact that I'm getting the views I am is really good. In fact, if it wasn't for everyone else saying that I deserve more, I'd think I was doing quite well. No, that's not true. Of course, you always want more views. Halfway there now. It looks like we're about to pass over a fairly major road. I don't know if you'll see it. Oh yes, yes you can see it. There's a little town or village or settlement or something down here, which I'll try and show you. Yes, what's that called? On the crossroads. I think it's part of Kiab. I had dabbled with X-Plane, but my main sim was... I've always played the Microsoft series, really, so I started with Microsoft Flight Simulator for Windows 95, which was longer ago than I care to remember. And then I had every iteration of it up till FSX. Then I took quite a long break from flight simming because FSX never worked particularly well on my computer at the time. So I went back to FS 2004 and then stopped. And then when Lockheed Martin took over, I flew paired 4 as well. And enjoyed that. But X-Plane, it never quite clicked for me in the same way. I don't know why. I've always preferred the Microsoft Sims. I think because I mostly like simulating airliners, and the best add-on airliners were for the Microsoft Flight Sim series. What about you? Have you been simming long? Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of serious simmers who haven't made the switch to this yet because, I guess, because of the issues with the default aircraft. But I can't go back to earlier sims. I tried. I did do a flight in 3D, and it just didn't feel like flying in the real world. Yeah, and I'm sure they will sort them out. Their monthly updates are really encouraging. Yeah, and especially with the help of the community who are doing so much. There have been more fixes for the default aircraft in this that have been put out for free by people than any other sim I remember. I think X-Plane probably had more of a freeware community than FSX did. And I think the beauty of this sim is that people are coming from both platforms and you're sort of getting the best of both worlds. So the big add-on developers like PMDG are working on aircraft for it, but also the people who are used to fiddling around in X-Plane and modifying the default aircraft are getting on board as well. So the future's bright for sure. feel I should probably do a shout out to the composer of this music. His name's Trevor Kowalski, Kowalski, and it's really beautiful stuff. He's on Spotify as well as Epidemic Sound and Apple Music and lots of other places, so yeah, do look him up if you like what you hear. Hello Marcus, welcome to the channel. Glad you're enjoying the music. Hope you're enjoying the flight as well. I presume it's the combination of both that you meant. I should start trying to market this channel as sort of a relaxation experience, especially with these longer airliner flights with a bit of background music. I never really understood streaming until I watched a few people flying MSFS on the run-up to release. And there is something really nice about just being in the virtual skies and watching the world pass by. I'm so sorry, I misread your name. It's Maus, isn't it? So sorry. Good. Glad I got there in the end. So for those of you who know Saudi Arabia, we are just about to pass a town called Qarya Al-Ulya on our left. But as I was saying earlier, the textures in this part of the world aren't the greatest, so I don't know if we'll see much. right. I've never been to Dubai either. I've got a lot of friends who have loved it, but yes, I mean it's a huge hub airport, isn't it, for Emirates? So I guess it's the sort of place that more people go through than stop at. What was that? Is that for us?
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet EgyptAir 915.
You mean you had to go to Dubai to change planes, but it's not somewhere you would choose to visit, is that what you mean?
EgyptAir 915, contact Jeddah Center on 128.1.
EgyptAir 915, for those who are interested, is a flight from Abu Dhabi to Cairo. Not too sure why he would be being asked to descend and maintain 10,000 feet, but that's the default ATC for you. I'm in love having everyone at 10,000 feet. Yes, it's normal for cars to be driving on the runway everywhere, but only in this sim. I haven't seen it anywhere else. Yesterday's landing at Cairo, we had, or not yesterday, whenever I did the last stream, we had a light aircraft on the runway as I landed, and I didn't bat an eyelid, just landed straight through it, didn't even mention it. I'm sure that'll be fixed, that sort of thing. Oh, I see, yes, right. I'd love to go to Mauritius, actually. I had a Mauritian driving instructor, and it was when I was doing my A-levels, which is the exams we do here when we're 18, and he insisted on speaking French to me, and of course I didn't have any driving-related vocabulary in French whatsoever. But I learned quite a lot about the language from him, and also about Mauritius, and he sold it very well. So where are you from, Maris? And Mossy, I'm presuming you're from the UK. I don't know why, I get that impression. But I may be wrong. That came up a bit weird in the stream, but I see what I believe in the YouTube chat is a heart with a Swiss flag in it. So you're Swiss, are you?
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
Where have I been in Switzerland? I've been to Geneva. I had a friend who was working out there for a while. I've been to Zurich on holiday, which was
Descend and
beautiful.
maintain
I've
10,000
been to
feet.
Bern,
EgyptAir
which is also
913.
beautiful. And I've been to Lauterbrunnen up in the Alps. We did a little bit of, I wouldn't call it hiking. We did some light walking around Lauterbrunnen. Yeah, it was a great trip. Unfortunately, the YouTube chat has dropped out of the stream again. I can still see your messages. But if you want it to pop up in the stream, you're welcome to join me on Twitch instead at twitch.com/philbertflies.
EgyptAir 913, you are 20,000 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet, EgyptAir 913.
EgyptAir 913 is the return flight of this, so it's Dubai back to Cairo. Of course, we're not flying with live time, so that flight is in the air at the moment. And we are about to leave dry land behind us and head out into the Arabian Sea. We'll be passing Bahrain on our right, followed by Qatar, and then we'll next be meeting dry land again on the approach to Dubai. Right, I'm just going to take a short break and nip to the toilet, grab something to eat, but I'll be back very shortly. See you soon. Hello, I'm back. Have I missed anything exciting? Ooh, pretty scenery. I should have left you in the outside view, really, shouldn't I? Never mind. So this town below us, I believe, is called Jubail. 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 Obviously that's a coastal town in Saudi Arabia. Does look stunning, doesn't it? I was starting to wonder if, for those who are watching afterwards, the YouTube chat isn't coming up on the stream, but Mossy said that it looks stunning, and I was just agreeing. Yeah, I was starting to wonder if a flight over nothing but desert was such a good idea, but it was worth it for this, to be honest. This is a part of the world you would probably never think to visit, never think to look at on Google Earth or anything like that. And here we are, experiencing it from here. About to complain about how square this looked. I thought that can't be real, but actually it is. That is the shape of it in real life. This is Ras Tanura. Beyond it, on this bit of land here, is quite a big looking city called Al Khobar, which has a road bridge linking it to Bahrain, which I presume is this small island here, and I think this one beyond it is Qatar. Plan and start thinking about planning our descent. Waypoint is about 250 miles before our arrival. We should be over 100 miles from our top of descent, so we will We'll start looking at December. Let's just check the map, see if we can see it. Yeah, so we've got about 120 miles to run to Kula. And we will hand over control to our co-pilot with flight crew A320 and set up for our arrival. So you said you were at Cairo, Mossy. Are you going to try the flight to Dubai as well? Or are you off somewhere else? Oh, welcome back, Mossy. Don't worry, don't worry. I was just asking if you where you're on your way to from Cairo. You said you were there admiring the vehicles on the runway earlier. You haven't missed much. We're flying over the sea. troop chat's reconnected. That's good. Right. Which version of the sim have you got? So this is Qatar over here. Premium, good. What other choice was there? Yeah, so you got the handcrafted Cairo. I've just been looking up if there's any news from MK Studios about their airports for Flight Simulator. I haven't found much. They've said in the past that they're going to port all of their prepared/FSX airports over. Nothing yet. I really like their Lisbon. That's a beautiful approach to Lisbon. You fly right up the river, over the city. There's some spectacular bridges. And it was a really nicely designed airport as well, so I'm looking forward to that one. See if there's any news on their Facebook page. Oh, okay, Dublin they're doing first from the looks of things. And they're going to be installable through Orbit Central, which should be handy. Tell you what, why don't we have a little go at flying the drone over to Qatar? See what it looks like, rather than just looking at the sea. I've got much of a sense of how far away it is, of course. This is full speed with the drone. It don't seem to be getting any closer. Okay, I might give up on that one, I think. We'll fly to Qatar another time. Kumla, which I reckon should be just over 100 miles from our top of descent point. So we'll start having a look at our arrival. And the first thing to do is to get the METAR for Dubai. Let me do that now. Okay, so we've got wind 320 from 320 at 9 knots. No significant clouds. Temperature of 35. Blimey, it's hot. QNH 1002. So if we look at the airport layout, remind myself what runways we have. We've got 2 parallel runways, 30 left, 30 right, 12 right, 12 left. So I think it's safe to expect, as long as the Flight Simulator Live weather matches the reality, we should be landing on one of the runways 30, and probably 30 left. That looks like the way the airport's designed. It's slightly longer. So let's set up for that. Yes, getting close, nearly there. It's always exciting, this sort of point in the flight. Bear with me a sec. Sorry, just had to get my track IR hat on and then sort out my headset again. Right, what are we doing? Right, arrival. So, flight plan. Oh no, first things first, hand over control to
You have control.
I have control.
Now we go to destination, arrival, and we've already got the Dato for Delta star programmed in, and we are going to go for runway 30 left, ILS. And I think we maybe need to reselect the star, do we? Maybe not. Oh, it's frozen. Oh no! Oh, you are joking! You are joking! We've just had a crash to desktop. Unhandled exception. That is so frustrating. I've never had that before. Yes. No autosave functionality or anything. I know. I don't know what to say. I guess we're going to have to call it a day. That's fittingly somber music for it anyway. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. Let me have a little think. Maybe we can try starting again and reloading the flight from... I don't think it'll work. I'll start it up. I'll start up Flight Simulator and I will see if I can reload the flight, start at the gate and then use the fast forward function. Yeah, load it, that's what I mean. Yeah, the skip to descent. Let's give it a go. Don't hold out much hope. I know. I'm a lot less calm than I sound. I'm trying to keep it light and family friendly, you know, just in case there are any young people listening. But yeah, not good. Oh yes, I did. You just have to open the ATC window and drag it around a bit and then close it again. I found that on the official forums, and it happened again in my last stream, and it worked. Right, I'm just going to put it into this screen because I have to... Basically, I have to load my flight plan, and that shows you my my real name. Which I don't want to stream. Right, that's that. I've got to do my fuel again, haven't I suppose? Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I can't imagine why that worked. Right, my fuel was 26,120. That'll do. Payload was 163468. Sorry, takeoff weight. Oh, hi Maris. Yes, I will. I'll get this sorted out and I will look it up. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head either. So if we take 6,000 off this, that'll give us 5,400. Add it on here, which will give us 17,400. That's how we had it set up. ATC options, never mind the tail number, I can't be bothered to look it up again. EgyptAir 912. Live weather. The time we started was about 10:10 was the takeoff time, so we'll set it to that. Right. So the guy we were listening to before was Trevor Kowalski, Kowalski. And there's I can't remember if this is what we're listening to, but he's got an album called Days With You Never Fade. I think, or no, that's the track. Sorry, the album's called Luminescence that we were listening to tracks from. Do I play any other simulators? I have in the past. I don't at the moment. I've dabbled with train simulators as well. But no, flight simming is really what I spend most of my simming time doing.
Niner 12 ready for IFR departure runway 5 right.
Oh good, we're back at Cairo. Alright, let's try this. If this doesn't work, we are a bit pooped. Oh, I guess we're going to have to align the IRSs, aren't we? Or are they already aligned? Oh, they're already aligned. Okay, let's try it. So we'll go to... But that isn't our descent, is it? That's clearly not our descent. What about if we go here? Should we try that? Let's try that. Sometimes it works, sometimes the aircraft is totally uncontrollable. No worries, Maris. Seem quite low.
EgyptAir 912, contact approach on 122.5.
Okay. Okay, that's not where I said. I've said put us up here somewhere. No, I don't want to travel to final. Oh, goodness me. Right, what are we doing? Got no autopilot on. Let's put that on. We're supposed to be at 5,000, are we? We're not. Haven't got auto.
EgyptAir 912, please acknowledge.
Well, maybe we'll manage a landing, hey? Who knows? You can manage
122.5 EgyptAir 912. Approach EgyptAir 912 is out of 4,500 feet for 2,000 feet.
EgyptAir 912 approach continue to hold on as planned. Altimeter 29.60.
Okay, that's a very different pressure setting to what I saw, I think. Okay. Where are we going? OMDB. Arrival. We wanted a 30 left approach, ILS, via this star. Is that what's going on? We're in managed heading mode. Going to hold on SEDPO modus. What's it doing? Where's it taking us? We've got no idea where we're landing, have we? I guess 30 left. Yeah, just give us some vectors, that's a good idea. Seeing as this plane is just doing a circle.
EgyptAir 912 would like ILS runway 30 left approach vectors to final.
EgyptAir 912, you are 14 miles southeast. Maintain present heading and altitude, expect vectors ILS runway 30 left approach.
Maintain present heading and
I have
altitude,
control.
expect
You have
vectors
control.
ILS runway 30 left approach EgyptAir
Approach
912.
checklist.
Briefing.
Confirmed.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Baro ref.
1013 set.
No, it's not, it's not.
1013 set.
Zero's
Minimum.
okay.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
Okay, so happy fun times again. We've done our approach checklist. We're flying at 250 knots. We are awaiting vectors to the final for runway 30 left, which I should have put in our flight plan page, and I have. We will double check the approach settings. What did we say? Our right, 1002 on that. I said the temperature was 35, and the wind was 320 at 9. So very, very slight crosswind. Transition altitude doesn't really matter because we've already passed it, but we'll say 18,000. The V approach of 163 seems far too high. But whatevs, we can slow it down. And then we just look at the approach plate for the minimums. Category 1 ILS 260, minimum decision altitude. Okay, we are ready for the approach. We should have our landing lights on, they should already be on. The strobe is on. Nothing logo on, that's all alright. How are we doing for fuel? Almost too much. In fact, far more than we should have. Which could account for the high approach speed. Which is alright, we've got a good long runway. We will play it by ear. Not getting any vectors, are we? Which is a shame. Going to look on Navigraph where exactly we are, but it won't connect for some reason. Anyone seen an airport?
EgyptAir 912, contact Emirates Center on 124.85.
Yeah, I think
Going
they have.
to 124.85 EgyptAir 912. Emirates Center EgyptAir 912 is at 5,000 feet, descending 2,000 feet.
EgyptAir 912, Emirates Center, continue as planned.
We're descending 2,000 feet, are we?
0.60.
First I've heard of it. No one's asked us to. Alright, we'll descend to 2,000 feet, see what happens. Ugh, I need a drink. We'll give them a chance to perk up. And if they don't, then we'll just try and vector ourselves to the final. Anyway, this is the desert, very nice. Definitely flying away from the airport. So what about if we request a vector form? Maybe they'll help us a bit then.
Emirates Center EgyptAir 912 requesting vector to next waypoint.
EgyptAir 912, turn left heading 030.
Okay.
Turn left
That's
heading
encouraging.
030 EgyptAir 912.
You watch them ask me to climb back up to 5,000. That's just the sort of trick they'd play. I should, but I've got a 6 o'clock start in the morning, so it'd probably be a bad idea. I think they have. Yeah. They started quite early this morning, to be honest. I think we'll activate the approach phase because it just doesn't feel quite right flying along at 2,000 feet at 250 knots. So that will start bringing our speed down to our flap extension speed. Right, let me have a look at my chart. Where's the ILS plate? I thought I had that open, but I don't. ILS 30 left. So our initial approach fix is all dot. Do we have that programmed in? Is it one of the ones shown? Yes. Potentially the one we're flying to, which would be even better. No, these must all be on the star, I think. Oh yes, right, so when we get to Delta Bravo 506, which is here, we should then be turning 90 degrees to the left, and that will take us to all dot, which is our initial approach fix. And it's suggesting that we shouldn't be any faster than 185 knots. So let's get some flaps out.
Flaps what?
Check the speed.
Well, we're well below the flap extension speed. Aren't we? I'm going to dump some fuel. We shouldn't have this much. And it should slow. It should allow us to fly a bit more slowly.
Flaps what?
Check the speed.
Okay, let's take over control of the speed. Let's just bring it down to 185, which is what we're supposed to be at. We'll extend the flaps. Yeah, the co-pilot thinks I don't know what I'm doing because he doesn't understand about simulator crashes.
Flaps what?
Check the speed.
the fact that he's just ceased to exist and started to exist again.
Flaps what?
Check the speed.
Right, okay. I'm going to turn that off. I think you can turn it off. VFE limit, none. If need be, I can not use
Flaps
it.
what?
Speed checked.
Yeah, he's not connecting to the sim. That's what's going on. So we'll forget about him for now. Go back to the old days before we ever had FS2 crew. I had checked the speed. I'll have you know, Mossy. I was very happy with the speed. Oh dear. We seem to have lost our ILS display as well. That was there when we started, wasn't it? Let's check the frequency in the RadNav page. 111.3, which is correct. Course of 299, not 301, but whatever, close enough. Must just not be within range.
EgyptAir 912 contact approach on 122.5.
122.5 for EgyptAir 912. Approach EgyptAir 912 2,000 feet.
EgyptAir 912 approach continue as planned. Altimeter 29.60.
Continue as planned. You see, as planned was you were going to give me radar vectors to final, and you are not doing that. If we can go direct to any of these arrival waypoints, should be able to. Yes. So, in theory, I should be able to choose DB506. And then we should.
EgyptAir 912, you are 30 miles southeast of Delta Uniform Bravo Alpha India November Tango Lima.
It's just caused everything to disappear.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact tower on 119.55.
It's just everything's gone. Everything's
Maintain
gone.
present heading and altitude. Tower on 119.55 EgyptAir 912. Tower EgyptAir 912 tree 0 miles southeast inbound ILS runway tree 0 left approach.
EgyptAir 912 tower. Cleared ILS runway tree 0 left approach. Altimeter 29.60 wind tree 52 at 5.
But we're not.
Cleared ILS runway tree 0 left approach EgyptAir 912.
We're not within range of the ILS, apparently. Anyway, we'll head heading 300, and we'll hope against hope we get to the airport. Let's request the
Tower
airport
EgyptAir
direction.
912 is unfamiliar with the area. Request directions to the airport.
In other words, do your job.
912 airport is 11 o'clock to 8 miles.
Right, we'll turn heading 290, and we'll wait for the ILS to perk up. Hopefully it will. And then that should all be fine, shouldn't it? That should all be absolutely fine. I can't stand it when flights go wrong, especially long ones. It was all going beautifully. We had a nice takeoff, the plane behaved properly, ATC behaved properly. We're going to have a spectacular arrival over the ocean. And then end up here feeling very pleased with ourselves, you know? Having achieved the 3-hour flight from Cairo. And as it is, we're just flying along at 2,000 feet with ATC giving us precious little help, hoping for the best. The number of viewers has gone up recently, so for those of you who didn't see what happened, we were having a lovely flight from Cairo and then the sim crashed. So we had to start again and then use this travel to function. And I chose to travel to somewhere around here, and instead it put me somewhere around here. And now ATC aren't listening. Well, they're listening, they're just not doing their job. Yeah, they are testing me. Oh, we've got our localizer. Excellent. Let's arm approach mode. And we've got our glide slope. So when that starts moving down, let me just recheck what it's saying our V approach should be. 163. Should be about 145, something like that, I think. Yes, what was I saying? Yes, as the glide slope starts moving down, I'll extend the second stage of flap and the gear. It's nice, Mossy. I mean, when you've been at this sort of thing as long as I have, you're prepared for every eventuality. Oh, YouTube's disconnected again, Mossy. That's why your comment isn't coming up. Yeah, 163 does seem much too fast. Something's very wrong with this sim at the moment, because not only will Navigraph not connect to it, but it's not recognising my track IR either. Hello, Shark Gamer. I appreciate your confidence in me. Shark Gamer said it will be a butter landing, because you won't see that on the stream. Is that a runway? I think that might be a runway. Try and restart track IR, because I find it much easier to land when I can move my head around. I don't expect it'll work, because I think it's the sim that's broken, not that, but we'll see. Yeah, it's the sim that's broken. I assume this is the Burj Al Khalifa. How far have we got to run? Just over 10 miles. If the sim crashes again when I'm just about to touch down, Shark Gamer, the stream will end abruptly before I say something I regret. That's what will happen. I tell you one thing though, it's running beautifully smoothly. No stutters, good FPS. Right, flaps to gear down. Decrease our speed to somewhere in the region of 150. See how it feels. Flaps 3. Excellent, my cat's just woken up and is rubbing my face. That's just what you need on final.
EgyptAir 912 cleared to land runway 30 left. Wind 351 at 5.
That's very nice of you, ATC.
Cleared to land
Thank
runway
you.
30 left EgyptAir 912.
Find your own way here, but when you get here, we'll probably let you land. Flaps full. Morris, you really have to get off the computer now. This is not going to end well if you're here. Ah, dear. Right. Let's turn off the autopilot. Oh, you know what I haven't done? Arm my speed brake. Or my auto brake.
500.
Oh, we have speed brakes armed. Copilot did something useful. That's good.
400. 300. 200. 100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Welcome to Dubai, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this experience more than I have. That wasn't too bad a landing,
exit
I
runway
don't
when
think.
able. EgyptAir 912 contact ground on 118.85.
Yeah,
Going
thank
to
you, Mossy. I think I would
118.85
probably
EgyptAir
describe it as
912.
better. Right, we're just going to stop here. Retract the flaps, because I have to do everything myself like an animal, because the co-pilot's given up. Strobes off, taxi light on. Yeah, wing lights on, I don't know why they were on. It said 5. Yes, you're right, I hadn't made that connection. You don't often hear a 5 call out, do you? No, good news. Right, I'll cheer up now. Because we're down and I'll look at where we're parking. The real aircraft, the last flight I looked at, I think went to gate F12, which is on concourse C, which is basically down here to the right a bit, I think. If I am where I think I am. Let's get the APU started. See, this is where track IR is very useful, much easier to turn. Oh, yeah, that's my dodgy joystick causing me to steer left when I want to steer right. Where's the PIA? No, so it could be part of the A320 megapack, which in the latest version seems to apply to the AI aircraft as well. But I'm not absolutely sure, to be honest with you. It's a nice looking airport, isn't it? They've done a good job modelling that terminal. So this seems like a good time to ask as many of you as possible to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Most flights, the simulator doesn't give up halfway through. Yeah, follow me on Twitch, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, that sort of thing. It'd be much appreciated. Next flight, as I said earlier, is going to be a VFR flight from Shoreham to the Isle of Wight via Southampton and Portsmouth. Hello, Suhaib. Don't worry. You missed some excitement in the form of the sim crashing after about 2.5 hours of flying, and us having to restart, and then, goodness me, we jumped forward to the approach, or rather we tried to jump forward too early on in the descent, but it decided we really wanted to be down for the approach, and then ATC gave up on us, and yeah, it's been a nightmare, to be honest with you. Very stressful. Yeah, of course, Shark Gamer, I will certainly go and have a look inside the terminal. I don't know if the interiors are modelled or not, but it'd be interesting to see. Anyway, it's been a good learning experience. We have learned that jumping forward in... Well, firstly, everything can be going beautifully 1 minute and then catastrophically wrong the next. We've learned that if you restart and jump ahead, it doesn't always jump to where you think it's going to, where you want it to. And also, the likelihood of ATC giving you decent instructions having jumped ahead is quite low. You're very welcome, Mossy. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and yeah, I hope to see you on the next one. Don't know when it'll be, but potentially, yeah, I've got loads of work coming up. Potentially Sunday if I've got time. If not, it'll probably be the following Thursday. Oh, I just answered that as you asked it, Sue. Oh, okay. The Shark Gamer says that the interior of the terminals are modelled. Awesome. I look forward to having a look at that then. I'll do it as soon as we park up. So this must be Concourse B, meaning Concourse C is the next one. And we want the second gate, that will be F12, on Concourse C. So yeah, next stream will be either on Sunday or the following Thursday. I've got real life stuff to do on Sunday, unfortunately. I'm going down to South London to see a friend, cycling down there, meeting up in a park, and then yeah, I might squeeze a cheeky hour VFR stream in the evening, I should think. So I'll try and do Sunday just for you, Mossy. Got distracted, never did start the APU. So the next gate is the gate that the real world flight parked at, and it's free, which is nice. Oh, someone's parked a vehicle right in the way there. Who does that, honestly? Thank you. Got out of the way just in time. Oh, don't worry, Suhaib. School comes first. You can always watch them afterwards. Yeah, the other two terminals look more likely to have interiors, didn't they? Because they had the textured glass Shark Gamer. APU hasn't started yet, has it? In fact, it doesn't look like it's going to. Flap is... Oh yeah, it is. It is. All right. Well, I tell you what. We'll come and close, shut the engines down afterwards, and we'll go and have a look inside the terminal in the meantime. So let's try this one. I think we'll like it, doesn't it? Beautiful. No. Good bit of parking though, eh? Look at that. Bang on the centre. Speed the drone up a bit. Oh yeah, it's a bit of detailing, isn't there? So not full-on modelling, but at least enough shapes and detailed for you to have something to look at through the windows when you park up. We'll have a look at the A concourse as well. I imagine it's the same. Oh, it's got a bit more. It's got benches in it, this one. Obviously someone at Asobo lost the will to live while they're placing all these benches and didn't bother to carry on with the B concourse. See if there's anything downstairs. More benches. And then nothing. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm glad you alerted me to that, Shark Gamer. Well worth a look. Right, let's go back to our aircraft, see if the APU started. Let's shut it down. Can't leave a flight like this. Good, APU is available. APU bleed on. Engines off. It would be cool if passengers are there. Yeah. Hopefully that's something that GSX will do with their future... Sorry, the FS Dream Team will do with their future GSX mod. Right, so that's that. We will attach the jetway.
Dubai ground EgyptAir 912, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
EgyptAir 912, the jetway is going to be connected.
And there you have it. A very warm welcome to Dubai. Stressful flight, but a nice landing in the end and an interesting airport to come and see. So, as always, thank you very much for joining me on Filbert Flies. I will try and do a stream on Sunday, but if not, I very much hope to see you on Thursday. And if so, I very much hope to see you on Sunday. So thanks for being with me. Enjoy the rest of your days, and take care. Bye bye.